Bobby needs to get his tuck under control after his series of unfortunate events. Mimi needs to practice her ducking and weaving. TC has to stop playing so freaking much. And Sapphire was out here carrying Team Bad on her back like she's Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. Let's talk about it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you are watching this. Hey! So as you already read the title down below, I am about to get into episode 3 of Bad vs. Wild. But before I do, y'all already know what to do. Like this video and show your girl some love. Comment your thoughts because I know you already have them. And of course, hit that subscribe button and join the queen, baby. Mwah. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty of this episode because I can't lie, y'all. I enjoyed it. I honestly and truly enjoyed it. This episode was for the people like me that get tired of all the fighting and unnecessary arguing because at some point it becomes draining and it gets old and it's just tired. So it was a relief to, get some fun and joy watching this episode. Now starting off, we got Bobby Lytes as the Team Bad captain, but he was playing the game as, his alter ego Vanity. And then we have TT for the captain for Team Wild. And baby, I was instantly happy about this because one thing about it, Quay is funny and witty, so I knew he was going to bring a good energy to this episode because he knows how to make something that may seem tense to something more fun and jolly, like, more exciting. Like, let me say she and not he, since he is playing his alter ego TT on this episode. So now that we know that, it's time to get into the episode. And of course, each team is in their dressing room getting ready. So Vanity and Team Bad is talking about how, Team Wild is full of funny people, so they need to come with it. And it's important to note this because Team Bad had a lot of Instagram girlies on their team. So no one is really expecting them to have, personality. So this was their opportunity to really show up and show out. Also, I don't know any of the girls on Team Bad other than Sapphire and Chinese Kitty. So if the other girls do have a little personality, I wouldn't know. And as far as Sapphire goes, I feel like this show definitely has helped her show us, the viewers, her personality more because, baby, I was really starting to question, her purpose on these Zeus shows. But she's starting to really show up, and I love that for her and us, okay? Now, Team Wild, on the other hand, is in their dressing room getting a full-on concert by Anaya child. And one thing about it, Miss Mamas, she gonna always give us a little no to. And I love that for us too. Side note, I did not know who this random white boy was that was, just coming up in the camera. Like maybe I don't know, maybe I'm out of the loop and not in tune with the new Instagram comedians, but I did not know who he was. But I knew some of the other people on, Team Wild, and not all of them were, comedians, but I believe some of them were like YouTubers or just Instagram people overall. But needless to say, I was excited to see what they all was going to bring. Now we all know each episode they have a performer. So the first episode was Gloria Hallelujah Woods. Side note, did we ever get a confirmation if that's Glorilla, real middle name? Because having Hallelujah as your middle name is literally hilarious. And I feel like she is low-key trolling us, but who really knows? Anyways, she performed for the first episode and she did her big one. Like, we love Glorilla. Glorilla did her big one. Then in the second episode, we had Bia. I don't know how her performance was because I skipped right through it because I just don't listen to Bia music like that. Like, I like her, but her music, it just do not connect to me personally. At least, not yet. And now on this episode, we have Santana and child T came to show out for the people. Solo, okay? Having Santana this episode was very on brand since, we have two dudes acting as women or acting as their woman alter egos leading the team. So, it was fitting. And what I will say is Santana really came to give the energy people look for in a show. I think he knew because he didn't have, any dancers to take up the stage for him and keep the audience attention. He had to put in all the work and he did just that. Whether you knew the song or not, You felt his presence, and that's all we ask for from performers. One thing I do feel like he should have done, you know, if they would have allowed him, was choose some of the girls from the crowd to have them, you know, come on the stage, do the little walk, do a little dance to the song, you know, he was performing. But other than that, I think he did really good. That little tidbit may have enhanced it, but he didn't have it, and it still was good. So that's that. Now, moving on, we get each team coming up to the stage to introduce themselves. I found it real cute that Team Bad came out with a cute little 1-2 clap clap. Yeah, that was real cute. I'm like, okay, y'all better come through with the team unison. Okay, energy. It was giving something, you know, me and my cousins or me and my friends would do if we at a family function, or if we just out and we just, you know, want some attention. Or what me and my cheerleader squad used to do back in the day when we were showing up the other people's games and we wanted to bring attention to ourselves. Child, we'll do anything to get a little, baby, West is it's a what's up, baby. That's the energy we came with, and that's what they came with. So I like that. And then Team Wild came out, and instantly TC started sticking, you know, her middle finger. She started sticking her middle finger out at the other team, and it was just too funny because they didn't need to do all that extraness Team Bad did. Granted, that was extra. Even though they didn't need to do what Team Bad did, Team Wild, they just came out being ratchet. So moving on to the actual games of the show, they started off with Marry Kill, and I was confused on how they were going to make this into a game. And once they started, I was like, oh, okay, I guess I get it. Like, okay, we here now. I feel like the idea was there, but it's just something missing, and I can't honestly quite call exactly what it is, but it is something about these games that they keep playing. That, on top of the fact that they all are always yelling and screaming at each other, always just confused the hell out of me. But needless to say, Team Wild went first to give their answer for Team Bad. The options on the board was, you know, Nicki Minaj, Drake, and I think like Keith Powers or somebody. And Team Bad basically wanted to kill Nicki. And you know, everyone was in the stands like booing and saying like, you know, why would you kill Nicki? Why would you kill Nicki? Boo, 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 boo. So they felt the need to explain why they chose, you know, how they did. And I didn't like that because we all know the objective of the game is to win. So of course you would say an answer that would, you know, wouldn't be easily chosen by the other team. So yes, I'm going to kill Nicki. Hell, while they was up there yelling about, you know, trying to plead their case saying, you know, their answer is fake, they wouldn't kill Nicki. I'm over here in my room like, that's my true answer. I probably would definitely kill Nicki. Keith Powers, Drake, in a fuck, marry, kill game? Sorry, Nicki. Love you. Bye. Like, what is we talking about? But Nicki a baddie, so we all know that. So then it was the bad side time to give their answers for the Wild team. And y'all, why the hell did Team Wild fall asleep on them? I just thought that was so funny. Like, they really came with the energy that I be looking for. They really did. But when they did that, it got Team Bad a little upset. So Vanity, aka Bobby, just started talking hella shit to their team. Granted, they all been doing it, but this is where it started to enhance. And Vanity told TT that she forgot to tuck, you know, his little, he forgot to tuck his little wee-wee, which is crazy to me because not too long after that, Vanity had her man parts flinging and swinging all around the stage later in the show. But we'll get back to that a little later because after Vanity made, you know, the tucking comment, things went up, and I can't lie, y'all, I was loving every bit of Sapphire on this episode. She was showing her fun side, and I like that. She was also quick with her comebacks to the other team. Granted, she could not match up with TT because one thing about it, Quay is really good in that, you know, that era. Like, that's his thing. But I really enjoy, you know, Sapphire's efforts. She did not come to play. She said, y'all are going to see me and y'all are going to love me after this. Okay, Miss Sapphire, I give you your 7.5 for that. You can't get a 10, but a good 7.5 with it. Also, also in this episode, they were doing a lot of fake fighting with each other. And I assume that's because none of them had real beef. So there wasn't really any point of them trying to create a real beef or whatnot. Not over something so silly as this wild versus wild game. So they did, you know, the little fake play fighting, you know, something you'll do with your cousins or your friends. Just something quick and fun. And although some of you all may think it was lame, I kind of thought it was cute because it was showing that they can get along and it's all good family fun. Like the show is supposed to be. Even though they were fake fighting and arguing, I have to point out that Anaya was a little intense on the stage. I kind of felt like, you know, she was trying to get active and I was like, hold on, mama, relax. Just a little bit. Like, do we need to drop a beat for you to, you know, calm down, chill out, sing a note, relax? Like, what is it, mama? What is it? She was really on go, but that could have just been her showing her passion for the game and not so much her being really angry and just rah, 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 rah. So like, you know, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Maybe it was just passion, not anger. Now, in the midst of all the arguing and comebacks, Vanity had the nerves to say this foolishness. Like, boy, what? I can't even say girl what, because that statement was very manly and unladylike. And then after his little statement, they all turned the damn stage into a dodgeball court with the pillows while Vanity continued to say outrageous things like this. Something about his pussy smelling like tilapia realness. Just a mess, okay? It was all just a mess. But anyways, moving on to the next game, they played the Shake Something game that Carlisa and Tokyo Toni played in the last episode. Now, as they were preparing to play this game, Vanity had to say her little piece about how she felt some type of way that Team Wow kept calling her team smelly, stank, and musty. Granted, we all know when TT and her team was saying it, they were kidding, but it was still funny, you know, just a little bit. Especially because of how extreme Titi was taking it. Like, she really play too much and she do too much, girl. But it was weird to me that Vanity would even make that statement because, girl, you are no better than any of them on the other side, because you were talking about how you stink and your side, well, not your side. You didn't say your team stink. You said you stink and your pussy smell like tilapia or something like that. Like, you were just saying you was funky. So that was weird. So I don't know why she was trying to make it, you know, a big deal with Team Wow saying it. And then along with that, Bobby, aka Vanity, did a smell test on Mimi, and that had social media in a uproar because a lot of people feel like Bobby is still a man at the end of the day. And he don't need to be violating a woman like that, like putting his hand on her vagina on national TV or streaming TV channel, whatever y'all want to call it. But I honestly and truly think that, you know, they're really close or they're very friendly, which is why he probably felt comfortable doing it. So I didn't put too much thought into it until I seen everyone going in on social media. That's why I say, yeah, it was a bit much for him to do. But everybody know Bobby just do too much because Bobby be wanting attention. But I also feel like only Mimi can tell us if she felt violated or not. I didn't hear anything from her because if it was me, I would have laid him out right then and there. And also, the show been filmed. Like, they filmed it a while ago. So I would assume she would have been made a statement. And like Zeus be having them on strict NDAs. They tell us about everything else and show everything else. So why, in this situation, Mimi never came out and said anything. So I'm going to assume she didn't feel any, you know, any way about it. Now, if, you know, Mimi and Bobby is not cool, he dead ass wrong. Point blank period, he dead ass wrong. He was just doing too much. But also, some women sometimes when they be having gay friends and stuff, like, they really just don't care because they understand, like, they get it. Like, this is just them. This is how they act. But then there is some people or some other women or some other, you know, that, you know, they do not know how to express boundaries when it comes to their gay friends because everything is always just a vibe and cool, funny, friendly type of, you know, situation. But I'm here to say, if you feel some type of way, speak up, friend or not. Speak up. Let them know. Like, don't touch me like that. Don't play with me. Period. But I don't think it was that situation with Mimi and Bobby. Like, I honestly and truly don't. But anyways, after Bobby did that to Mimi, he acted like he was gagging. So he had to touch her little punani smell and was like, blah, blah. doing that to her. And Mimi was gagging at the same time. And I was confused because Mimi, girl, why are you acting like you're gagging at this specific moment? And he just smelled you. So it seemed like you gagging at yourself. Like, that was so funny, and the timing was just off. When she really should have been slapping the hell out of his hand and pushing him out the way. It just looked like she was gagging at the fact that her own vajayjay stank. Let's call a spade a spade. That's what it looked like. Granted, I know that Mimi was probably gagging at the fact that her team was calling team dad stank, but it happened at the wrong time. Like, the timing was just terrible. Speaking of things happening at the wrong damn time, I literally screamed at my TV when Bobby Nuts fell out on stage. Like, what the fuck was that? Baby, it's like Vanity became Von real quick. And I just know he scared the people in the crowd with all of that. These people did not pay to come see a Bobby Lytes peep show. Like, sir, tuck, snatch, hello? Also, during this game, I found it funny when they all froze and Titi was laying on the floor on her back and Sapphire got over him and she paused like she was punching him. So it was like, it was real funny. It was real cute. Y'all see the picture? I thought it was cute and petty and pretty funny for the game. It was also funny when Vanity and Titi started the battle because Titi started swinging this long ass braided ponytail like she was a damn avatar or a stallion or something, trying to hit Vanity with it. Honestly, y'all, I was so giddy watching this episode because it felt as close to the original Wild 'N Out as possible. And I think that is what I appreciated. Like, I really appreciated that. But moving on to the last and final game, I have to stop here for a quick second and just give a round of applause. And I'm giving a round of applause to the cast of this episode only because we actually made it to a third game. If y'all been watching it, have y'all noticed this is the first time we made it to the third game? Everyone knows that in the previous episodes, we only made it to the second game, barely, before a huge fight broke out or whatnot and caused chaos on the entire stage and just ended the whole show. And I feel like that, keep it a stack game is a curse. They don't need to play that no more. It is a curse because every time they go to put their hand on the money, all hell break loose. All hell break loose. But guess what? They did not play that specific game in this episode. So boom, it proves my point. We got through this episode effortlessly and we played all the games. And guess what? They didn't play Keep It a Stack. So what that tell you? What that tell you? Okay? So the third game they did play was Keep It a Stack or State Facts. So, they added a little more to it. They added a little juice to it. Or State Facts. And it started off good with Mimi and Sapphire going up against each other first. Instantly it went down because one, they were able to pie their opponent. So of course, they were happy about that. But beyond that, Sapphire did not waste any time getting to Mimi the first chance she could. So when the game started and Nick asked Mimi her questions to see if she knew the answer or not, she automatically started running. But baby, Sapphire must have played some type of sports because her aim was so good when she threw her pie at Mimi and it smacked Mimi real good. Like, it did not even miss her. It's like all the pie went on her, and it's crazy because Mimi was running. And it's like, Sapphire, how you did that, sis? How you did that? Now, when she did do it, everyone went up because we all did not think she was going to do that. Like, we didn't know she was going to be able to hit her. So it was like, a real hypey moment. Even Nick was shocked. He went on to clap up Sapphire. And then her ass goes to fall off the stage after missing a whole damn step, nearly breaking her ankle. But that wasn't even it, because her ass fell some more after her and Mimi played the game even more, and she went to slipping and sliding all over the place. But baby, one thing about it, Sapphire looked good, baby. Sapphire was body, and she looked good. She may have fumbled, but that body was tight, okay? All I know is this show was Sapphire's moment because she was fun, funny, and she was witty. And this is what we need to see more of when she do, you know, show up on Baddies Caribbean. Like, this is the Sapphire we want to see. So like I said earlier, her and Mimi went at it again after Sapphire threw the first pie at Mimi. So then they came back and Nick asked Sapphire a question to see if she'll get it right about, you know, who was the first person to win 4 Grammys or something like that. It was the first African American, first person, somebody they asked about some Grammys or 5 Grammys or something. Why did Sapphire say Madam C.J. Walker? Girl. And you know what? I get it. I understand. I felt you. I ain't even gonna question it because I agree. I ain't gonna question it because I agree. When I say I scream, because no, dead ass, it was Madam C.J. Walker, and there's nothing you can say to prove me wrong. It was Madam C.J. Walker. I believe her. I believe her. Like, first of all, why would that even be a question for them? Side note, y'all know I love a good side note. But side note, I have to keep making my statement that production needs to find a better way to play these games. And I mean, all of them needs some type of tweaking. This is a Zeus show. So maybe the question should have been related to things that happen on Zeus. Like, I don't mind the general trivia questions. I don't mind it. But throw in some Zeus questions as well. And I'm pretty sure they didn't have none. I know they didn't get through the entire game, but I bet my last dollar, they did not have no Zeus questions in there. It was probably just all general trivia. Like, maybe the questions should have been related to things that happened on Zeus. I don't know. That's just, you know, a thought from my little producer brain over here. At the end of the show, it was announced that Team Wild won, but I feel like Team Bad should have won because baby Sapphire was carrying, you know, her team on her back. Even though her team was back there trying to be cute, hell, Team Wild wasn't no better. Like, they was trying to entertain and trying to be involved and try to play the games. But I don't know, Sapphire just overtook the show. Like, she really did her big one, and I really love that for her. But enough of my rambling because I enjoyed this episode, but I want to hear from you all. So like this video and show your girl some love. Comment your thoughts and let me know how you felt about this episode, your overall thoughts about Bad versus Wild. I want to know your thoughts, so comment them down below. And last but certainly not least, subscribe and join the queen, baby. Bye.